Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Granny B's house. Are you having a good day? No, I hope so. Granny B's having a pretty good day. Are you remembering to be kind to those people around you? Are you treating other people the way you'd like them to treat you? All those little things you do makes this world a better place for everyone. Well, Granny B's sleepy today. I've had a lot of stuff going on and I haven't been getting enough sleep. Do you ever have that happen? Well, I just want to tell you it's really important to get a lot of sleep because that's how you grow and stay healthy. Granny B doesn't really want to grow anymore, but I would like to stay healthy. Do you ever get assignments in school to write a story? Well, I have a book today about Arthur. Arthur's kind of a fun character who comes and goes in our book libraries, but he always has a good story with a good moral. So let's read Arthur Writes a Story, written by Mark Brown, and it's an Arthur adventure. Well, let's see what the big adventure is. I don't know if writing a story can be an adventure, but I'll bet we're going to find out. Let me get out of the way here. Can you see that? There we go. Arthur's teacher, Mr. Ratburn, explained the homework. Write a story, have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Use details and be creative. Well, what should the story be about? Arthur asked. Anything, said Mr. Ratburn. Write about something that is important to you. Arthur started his story the minute he got home. He knew exactly what he wanted to write about. How I got my puppy Pal. I always wanted a dog, but first I had to prove I was responsible. So I started Arthur's pet business. My mom made me keep all the animals in the basement. It was a lot of work, but it was fun until I thought I lost Perky. But then I found her and she had 3 puppies and I got to keep one of them. That's how I got my dog, Pal. The end. Arthur read his story to D.W., his sister. That's a boring story, D.W. said. Does it have to be real life? Because your life is so dull. Well, I don't want to write a boring story, said Arthur. If it were me, D.W. suggested, I'd make the story about getting an elephant. The next day, Arthur read his new story to Buster. Did you see the part about the elephant puppies, he asked. It's okay, I guess, said Buster. I'm writing a cool story about outer space. Well, maybe my story should take place on the moon, thought Arthur. On Wednesday, Arthur read his newest story to the brain. Scientifically speaking, elephants would weigh less on the moon, but wouldn't float that high, said the brain. So you don't like it? Asked Arthur. A good story should be well researched, said the brain. Like mine, if I had a pet stegosaurus in the Jurassic period. Arthur hurried to the library. What are all those books for? Asked Francine. Research, said Arthur. I'm writing about my pet 5-toed mammal of the genus Loxodonta. Your what? Asked Francine. My elephant, Arthur explained. Oh, said Francine. I'm putting jokes in my story. All through dinner, Arthur worried about his story. Please pass the corn, asked Father. Corn, that's it, said Arthur. Purple corn and blue elephants on planet Schmelephant. Now that's funny. Arthur's acting weirder than usual, said D.W. On Thursday, everyone at the Sugar Bowl was talking about their stories. Last year, a kid wrote a country western song for her story, said Prunella, and she got an A+. How do you know? Asked Arthur. That kid was me, explained Prunella. Mr. Ratburn said I should send it to a record company. It was that good. Wow, said Arthur. That night, Arthur's imagination went wild. He decided to turn his story into a song. He even made up a dance to go with it. Later, he tried it out on his family. Now this little boy can go home and enjoy his own personal striped elephant, and you will see how happy he will be here on planet Schmelephant. Well, said Arthur, what do you think? They don't look very impressed, do they? Mother and Father smiled. It's nice, said Grandma Thora, but a little confusing. Too bad you can't dance, said D.W. What am I going to do, said Arthur. My story is due tomorrow. That night, Arthur did not sleep very well. The next day, Arthur worried until Mr. Ratburn finally called on him. When Arthur's song and dance was over, the classroom was so quiet, it was almost spooky. Binky raised his hand. Did that really happen? Sort of, said Arthur. It started as the story of how I got my dog. I'd like to hear that story, said Mr. Ratburn. The title was How I Got My Puppy Pal, said Arthur. Arthur told how proud he was of his pet business and how scared he was when Perky disappeared. And he told how happy he was to find her under his bed and how surprised he was to see her 3 puppies. And the best part is, said Arthur, I got to keep one. Buster said, I like that story better than your other one. Great story, said Binky. I think Arthur's story was the best, said Francine. Good work, said Mr. Ratburn. Of course, I expect you to write it all down by Monday. Then Mr. Ratburn gave Arthur a gold sticker. Oh, and one more thing, he said. Leave out the dancing. So Arthur might be a good writer, but apparently he's not a good dancer. Well, I hope you use your imagination and write good stories or tell good stories and learn to put things into words that can brighten the day, can expand someone's mind, can let them see the story you're saying. I think the vocabulary is a very important part of your education, and I hope you're learning lots of new words, and I hope you're trying every day to put those words into sentences and to make new ideas and to just use your imagination. We don't need video games and computers and all that all the time if we read books and learn new words and put those new words to use. So Granny Bee loves to read and Granny Bee loves to learn new words, and I hope you will too as you get older. And I hope you'll remember that Granny Bee loves you, and I want you to come back and see me again real soon so I can read you another story, okay? Bye-bye.